Hey, everybody, welcome to Rocky Mountain Rankings. I'm your host, Davies Tallow. And today, if you hadn't already guessed, we're ranking the albums of Styx. A couple weeks ago, I was checking out Crash of the Crown, and I realized I haven't ranked Styx, one of my favorite all time bands. I couldn't believe it. In fact, I went back and into my videos and just to make sure, but lo and behold, I had not. I have not ranked Styx. I was kind of shocked. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do right now. Ranking this wonderful American band out of Chicago, who, recently has had quite a turbulent time with their lineup. Well, not recently. I'd say 20 years ago. Uh, but anyway, let's get into this. Styx came about originally in 1961, though they weren't called Styx. Chuck, Chuck and John Panazzo, along with their 12-year-old friend Dennis DeYoung. They were 14 at the time. Dennis was 12. Or say, no, Dennis was 14. The Panazzo brothers were 12. Okay, I get that backwards. I'm sorry. But anyway, in the Roseland district of Chicago, they started out the trade winds, then went the TW4. Of course, they hired their John Krulitsky later on, and then James J.Y. Young. Of course, they couldn't go by TW4 because there were five of them. So eventually, they got a contract, recording contract, and settled on Styx, which is the only one none of them hated, according to Dennis. The only name they did not like, or they didn't hate. So, and what a lot of people don't realize is before Equinox came out, there was actually four albums before that: Styx One, Styx Two, Serpent is Rising, and Man of Miracles. Of course, they didn't get probably any airplay because they didn't catch on. The only song that eventually saw any airplay was, of course, Lady. And a lot of people never, well, of course, to this day, a lot of people don't realize that came from their second album, Styx 2. So, but of course, today, Dennis is no longer in the band. A lot of dirty laundry there, which is too bad. Dennis apparently came down with some kind of bug where it was making him light sensitive. He couldn't stand the bright lights of the on stage and stuff. And this is right after they came out with their album Brave New World. Of course, Dennis wanted time to get over it, and the rest of the bands go, "Well, we're ready to rock and roll." Well, anybody familiar with that time? Dennis left the band. Kicked out of the band, and Lawrence Gowan was hired to take his place. Of course, John Panazzo passed away in '96. Chuck Panazzo's not, well, he's got HIV, unfortunately, but he's still going. He's still going. He doesn't play a full set, but he comes on stage at the end of their shows, which is great. I saw my sister and I went and seen Styx in 2001 at the State Fair. Place was sold out. Uh, it was great. They got well, right now 7 official members: uh, James Young, Chuck Manazzo, Tommy Shaw, Todd Sucherman, Lawrence Gowan, Ricky Phillips, and Will Ivankovich. I hope that I pronounced that right. Who has since 2021 is official member of the band, which is great. He's in fact, he's been instrumental in the last 2 albums, doing a lot of the writing, and so anyway, we got 16 albums. Of course, I'm not going to include the 2 live albums. They got Caught in the Act. I'm not going to include that, and this one, Styx World, which is great. So it's going to be 16 albums. I'm going to start with my number 16 and work down to my favorite. Just because it's number 16 doesn't mean I hate it. Just mean I don't reach for it as much or listen to as much. So anyway, here we go. At 16, I don't have. Well, I do have a physical copy, but it's recorded off my digital copy. At the time I got the digital copy, they didn't have a physical copy available at the time. I probably order it now, but maybe eventually I will get a physical copy of it. But right now it's just digital, and that's the very first album, Styx. It came out in 1972. Get to where I'm. He released August 31st, 1972, on Wooden Nickel. And their first four albums was recorded with Wooden Nickel label. Of course, on this one, you had Dennis, James, John Krulutsky, Chuck and John Panazzo. And what's strange about this one is there's only 2 original songs on here that was written by the band. The rest are covers. And for some strange reason, the record label said, okay, you can only do 2 of your originals. The rest we want you to do these songs. And the rest of the band had no idea, had never heard these songs that they wanted them to do. It starts out with Movement for the Common Man, which is their longest, I believe, out of all their songs, their longest, at 13 minutes, 11 seconds. Starts out with Children of the Land. It's in 4 parts. Children of the Land, Street College, Fanfare for the Common Man, and Mother Nature Matinee. So, and I kind of like this one, though I don't reach for this album much. Then side 1 ends with Right Away, which is penned by Paul Frank, sung by James. Side 2 starts out with What Has Come Between Us by Mark Gaddis, sung by Dennis. Goes into Best Thing, written by JY and Dennis, sung by both of them. Kind of one starts the song, the other one doesn't, or then goes into the other one. That back and forth basically. Quick as the beat of my heart, penned by Lewis Mark, sung by J.Y. And After You Leave Me by George S. Clinton, sung by J.Y. So, not a very long album, 32 minutes, 36 seconds. So, but decent. But it's kind of strange that the record label would insist on more covers than original material. So, but it is what it is. Okay, that is number 16. On to number 15. Okay, number 15. Oh, I forgot to mention that I'm not going to include their album Big Bang Theory. I don't mind covers, but I don't have it. I've heard it. It's not my cup of tea. So I'm not going to include that. Otherwise, there'd been 17. So anyway, number 16 or number 15, released February 18th, 2003 on Sanctuary CMC International. This little ditty right here, Cyclorama. Now, when this came out, I thought, right on. Finally, some new music with Lawrence. The only album that I had that had Lawrence was Stick World. But the first album of original material with him on it. I was looking forward to this. Uh, Not bad, but not great. So on this one, you have Tommy, uh, J.Y., Lawrence Gowan, Glenn Burtnick on vocals and bass, Chuck Panazzo and Todd Sucherman. This is the only. This is the second album with Glenn on it. Uh, Starts out with "Do Things My Way." If you want to have it your way, you got to do things my way, which is kind of echoes the way things go nowadays. It's if basically, if you want it your way, you got to do it my way. So you better do it my way. Probably the only tune I really love on this album. Uh, Waiting for Our Time. It's okay. Fields of the Brave. It's good. Pregorious Pig. Billy Bob Thornton. He doesn't sing. He just speaks some words. Only 49 seconds. I don't understand why do a song 49 seconds. You know, unless it's supposed to lead into something, which I don't understand what it's. Go the next song is "Kiss Your Ass Goodbye." I don't know if it's tongue in cheek or what. I don't know. Uh, these are the best of time, or these are the times. It's okay. Yes, I can. More love for the money. Okay. Together, fooling yourself, palm of your hand. 39 seconds. Come on, Tommy. Captain America, like that one. Killing the thing that you love, good. One with everything's okay. Uh, this last song, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. But anyway, it's also got Tenacious D on here. Jack Black and Kyle Gass. They do some vocals. They talk on one of the songs. So, of course, you can tell Jack, it's Jack Black. So anyway, good, but they could have done better, as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, kind of a letdown, but oh well. That's my number 15. On to number 14. All right. This next one, another kind of a letdown, though when I first heard it, I was really into it. Released October 9th, 1990. Their first album together since Kilroy was here, though Tommy's absent from it. Edge of the Century. I remember when this came out, I thought, cool, cool. But then I saw, wait a minute, where's Tommy at? But, you got Glenn Burtnick taking his place on this one. Last album with John Panazzo on drums. Before he was in a bad state. Alcohol had taken its toll on him. So, and I think he passed away in '96. Yeah, July 16th, 1996, at 47. I remember seeing a picture of him. Well, I think there's a picture of him in here. Let's see here. Okay. Dennis and JY. Glenn and John Panazzo. John's lost a lot of weight there. There's Chuck. But when I first heard this, I really enjoyed it, and I still do. I still do. Starts out with Love is the Ritual," which got played on the radio, and that's what alerted me that Styx has got a new album out. Then it goes to "Show Me the Way," which is really good. I really enjoyed that one. Show me the way, doom, doom, doom. And that goes into "Edge of the Century," the title track. "Love at First Sight," good. "All in the Day's Work," not too fond of that one. "Not Dead Yet," cover, Ralph Covert, writer on that one. Dennis sings it. "World Tonight," pretty good. "Carrie Ann," no, not a fan of that one. Another Dennis ballad in the vein of "Babe." "Home Record," kind of like that one. JY. And "Back to Chicago." You can tell Dennis wants to do more of a less rocker, more of a big band feel here on some of these. But that's Dennis. It really shows on the on Brave New World, of course. But and what kills me is the genre they got this in. You would. I'm sorry, but this is not glam metal. That's what they got the genre down here. Glam metal. This is not glam. This is more progressive rock. It's not glam, it's not metal. I'm sorry. But Wikipedia's got. I'm sorry, guys, but you got that wrong. Oh, and Dennis produced it. So, but anyway, that'll be the last album for quite a while until Cyclorama, of course. So anyway, that's my number 14, Edge of the Century. On to number 13. Okay, number 13, we're going back to the Wood Nickel days. In fact, 13 and 12. This album is really good, but it's not, again, not one I reach for as much as others. Released October 1974, their last album with Wood Nickel. That is right here. Well, this one right here. Men of Miracles. Last album for Wood Nickel, second to last album with John Krusky on vocals and guitar. Starts out with Rock and Roll Feeling, which is really good, sung by JY. And then goes into Having a Ball, which is another great tune. Then we go into Golden Lark, which is a nice little ballad. Then Dennis, of course. And another one sung by Dennis, Song for Suzanne. Then A Man Like Me, JY again. Then their cover Lies by Buddy Randall and Bo Charles. Dennis sings that one, which is good, decent. I had in fact, I still do have an 8-track where they put Best Thing off their first album on here instead of Lies. Why they did that, I have no idea. Evil Eyes. Dennis penned and sung. Love that one. Evil Eyes. Woke me up one dark and stormy night. Something like that. Then Southern Woman. Excuse me. James Young and Ray Brandel penned. James sings it. Southern Woman. Won't you tell my wife? Really good song. Love that one. Christopher, Mr. Christopher, Dennis again. And then title song, Man of Miracles. He was a man of miracles. Dennis hits the organ, keyboards and stuff. Just awesome song. Decent album, but I don't reach for as much as I used to. But back when I had the 8-track, I played the heck out of that 8-track. I'm surprised I didn't wear the dang thing out. But right now, I don't reach for as much as what's to come. And what is to come is Serpent is Rising, released October 1st, 1973. Right there. This one I really played the heck out of. Starts out with Witch Wolf by James Young and Ray Brandel. Witch Wolf. Oh, just love it. Hard rocking tune. Then Grove of Elglanti. There's a funny story behind that, but I won't go into it. It involves a certain thing that will remain unspoken on this channel. uh, then Young Man, which is another great tune. A John Krulutsky penned song, As Bad as This, which oddly has two parts. Has the song As Bad as This, which is a good ballad, but then has a second part called Plexiglass Toilet. Uh, Don't sit down the plexiglass toilet, said the mama to her son. Wipe the gut clean with the paper, make it nice for everyone, but don't sit down on the plexiglass toilet, yeah. I mean, the first time I heard that, I'm like, what the heck is this? They're tongue in cheek, whatever, I don't know. Then it goes into Winner Take All, which is great. Dennis and Charles Laf- Lafrano penned. James sings it. Goes another John Krulutsky tune, 22 Years. Then Joseph Pasalder, another great tune. Then the title track, The Serpent is Rising. Serpent is rising. And then it goes into Krakatoa, where John Krulutsky, JC, is talking. And then Hallelujah Chorus by Handel. Love it. Excellent ending. Though nowadays I don't reach for it as much, but these two, they're still decent albums. So check them both out. They're worth the listen. Just because they're down this low doesn't mean they're awful. They're far from it. In fact, even the first album, all of Styx discography is strong. There's just some that are not as strong as others, of course. So anyway, that's my number. Number 12. Okay, on to number 10 or 11. Yeah, we don't want to skip number 11. Okay, this next one could be higher, but right now it's sitting at number 11. But just because it's number 11 doesn't mean it shouldn't be higher. But right now that's where I'm putting it. Because What's to Come is just a tad stronger. Released June 16th, 2017. The first album since, Sakurama in 2003. The Mission. I would have had this video out sooner, this past Monday, but I had this on order. And I wanted to include, I like having props to show. And so, I've listened to this album, but I don't have a physical copy, But this was supposed to show up last Friday, and it got delayed. So they're saying, well, it's going to show up Sunday. Well, I got two other albums came. Well, a bunch of other albums came on Sunday. But this did not. It's saying it should be here by 10 o'clock. So I waited and waited. Checked back after 10 o'clock. I said, well, it's delayed. It was stuck in Colorado for some reason all day. So this came Tuesday. It was supposed to come today, but luckily it came Tuesday. It got to Salt Lake Monday. And I'm like, okay, well, if it's in Salt Lake, which is only 30 miles away from where I live, it should be here on Tuesday. And thankfully it came. So, uh, this is a good album. And it could go up higher. Got Lawrence, Tommy, James, Ricky, Chuck, and Todd, and Will. Though Will is not an official member by this point, he had a lot to do with writing and I believe, let's see. Where is it? Yeah, he produced. I believe he produced this album and the next one. Uh, Starts with overture, instrumental, then goes to gone, gone, gone. You know, great energetic opener. 100 million miles from home's great. Trouble at the Big Show, Locomotive, Radio Silence, uh, the greatest good or the greater good, Time May Bend, 10,000 Ways, Red Storm, love that one. All Systems Stable, Kadive, I think that's how you pronounce it. The Outpost, and then the title song. Uh, the more I listen to this, the more it grows on me. You know, you got those albums that when you first hear them, it grabs you right from the beginning. Then you get those other ones that when you first hear them, you're not too sure. But the next listen grows on you more. The next. So that's what this album is. It's slowly taking root in my heart. The very first time I heard it, I didn't understand it. It's uh, concept album, story of a mission to Mars. So, um, got some great pictures of Mars here. And that's kind of wild looking. Same, of course, then it's got some pictures of the band in the studio there. Same on the back here. Another picture of Mars. But yeah, it's basically the story about the first mission to Mars. So definitely check it out. I mean, will Ivanka Ivankon Ivakovich. Again, apologies if I'm murdering that your last name, Will. He co-wrote a lot of these songs, so really did a good job. Great, great production, everything. So definitely check it out. That's the mission. Okay, on to number 10. Okay, this would be the last album for quite a while. The band, at least 10 years, I believe. Well, not quite 10 years. I remember when this came out. It was a big deal. The last time I saw Styx live was on this tour. Released February 22nd, 1983. Ew. Kilroy was here. Now, although a lot of people are saying, oh, yeah, that album, that infamous album, got that horrible song. Domo Arigato, Mr. Ribato, Domo. I actually really enjoy this album. I loved it when it came out. the concert I loved. A lot. I know a lot of people gave it crap. Uh, the band, Tommy and JY and them weren't too into doing the movies, show, whatever. But I really enjoyed it. In fact, we were sixth row for this concert at the Salt Palace in Salt Lake, and it was wonderful. Of course, like I said, it's the last album with the original lineup until, well, well, by the time they did Brave New World, John had passed away, so which was unfortunate. But anyway, it starts out with Mr. Roboto, which is I still love. I still love it. Not as much as I used to, but it's still a great song. Uh, then it goes into Cold War. Cold War, the skinny boy is coming a man. Uh, Don't Let It End. High Time. Kind of love that one. Then goes into Heavy Metal Poisoning. Heavy Metal Poisoning. Uh, the only thing that was the only downside of the concert is when they did Heavy Metal Poisoning. They did it to a soundtrack. Uh, James was still singing, but he came out as Doctor Righteous. You know, it, a lot of people were disappointed they didn't play the song totally live. So, but that's what it is. Then we come to the song I really, really love. If I was to rank this album, the songs on this album, this would be my number one. Uh, just get through this night. Love that song. It's haunting, moody. I just oh love it to death. Uh, Double Life, another great song. But Tommy vocals on just get through this night's great. James, on Double Life's excellent. Great 1-2 punch right there. Uh, and it goes to Haven't We Been Here Before, which is good. And then Don't Let It End, Rispus. Uh, all in all, a strong album. If I'd done this years ago, it's probably been higher, but right now it's my number 10 because what's to come is just a tad stronger. But definitely check this album out if you've never heard it. In fact, Caught in the Act, their live album Caught in the Act, was recorded on this tour. So that's my number 10. On to number 9. Okay. This next one, I remember when it was announced as coming out. I was excited. I was I couldn't wait for this album. I'm like, what's going to be like? What's it going to sound like? Uh, I was let down a little bit at the time. Released October 1979, about Cornerstone. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a good album, but it was vastly different from what came before, which was Pieces of Eight. Uh, I once seen him on this tour. In fact, it was my very first concert I ever saw was Styx. They came to the D Event Center at Weber State. UK opened for them. Um, and if you're familiar with the UK, they're a three-piece band. I'd never heard of them before. John Wetton, who went on to form Asia, was this part of this band. Bill Buford, who was Yes's drummer years before. I can't remember if he was still a member of the band at this point. And Eddie Jobson. So they didn't have a guitarist. I can't remember. I know who the guitarist was on the first album. He left, and they went to a three-piece. So I know his name. I can't think of it right now. But they opened for Styx, and it was a good concert. First time I ever got drunk off one beer. Yeah, I was a lightweight. I was a kid. I was, I shouldn't have been drinking that night. So, any kids out there listening to this, don't drink. Wait till you're old enough, and then do it in moderation. Everything in moderation is okay, but you overdo it, no. So anyway, great concert, but like I said, vastly different from Pieces of Eight, and I was just expecting something more. Though now I kind of get what's going on here. They went back. You could say Pieces of Eight was at one point, and there's a discography, and they decided, well, let's go back and revisit it, some other things, other sounds, the previous. So you could say this is um, Equinox meets older rock and roll. Starts out with Lights. Tommy Shaw and Dennis Young penned that one. Tommy sings it. Why Me is okay. Then we come to the infamous Babe, which I don't like. It was okay, but not now. No. In fact, it kind of drove a little bit of wedge between Dennis and the rest of the band. They didn't want to do it, but Dennison, of course, was Dennis, and he insisted. Never Say Never's good. Boat on the River. That one at the time I didn't get. I'm like, why is Tommy doing this? What I took as a Russian ballad, but it's a good tune now. I really enjoy it. Borrowed Time, love that one. But it's kind of them going back a few steps in their sound, more like a '60s flavor. First Time, okay. Eddie, good, but I didn't get it when I first heard it. Love in the Midnight's good, love that one. All in all, strong album, but for young Davy Stallo back in the '70s, a vastly strange album. I don't think there's any pictures in here. Oh, yeah, there is. They're right there. So anyway, definitely check all these albums out. Come up with your own ranking. Definitely leave your own ranking down below. I'd love to see it. See, I'd like to compare it to what I did. Kind of makes this thing fun, a little bit more fun. So anyway, that's my number 9. Okay, on to number 8. Okay, this next album, their first album on their new label, A&M. They split with Wood Nickel, and went to A&M. And this is also the last album with John Krulewski on vocals and guitar, which is too bad. I like John singing and some of his uh, tunes on the earlier albums, but they started going a direction he didn't want to go, so more of a poppier sound. Though not really, not maybe just a tad. But of course, they came up. It says here he left to spend more time with his family, but I I've heard otherwise. Of course, the album's Equinox. I guess better get that up there. Released December 5th, or yeah, December 15th, December 1975. Now, this is why I kind of uh, compare Cornerstone and Equinox. Starts with a song called Light Up. This one starts with a song called Lights. So, and the music is kind of similar in a similar vein to me. That's why I say they went to a certain point, then they went back after uh, Pieces of Eight. It starts out with Light Up by Dennis, then Lorelei by Dennis and James, their first hit single. Mother Dear by John Krusky and Dennis. They both sing on it. Love it. Love it song. That's a great song. Lonely Child's great. Uh, Midnight Ride. Oh, awesome. Awesome song. I just love that song. Midnight Ride. Just, oh. It sends chills up my spine when I hear that song. Born for Adventure. Dennis and John and JY penned that one. Dennis singing, because I was born for adventure, women, whiskey, and sin. And then it goes to Prelude 12, little instrumental there by John Krusky. And then that goes right into Sweet Madam Blue, one of their mainstays of their concerts back in the day when Dennis was still with the band. Awesome song. Back when Dennis was penning rock and roll tunes instead of big band tunes. So, great album. A lot of people don't enjoy this as much as what's to come, but still check it out. Make your own determination. So that's number 8. On to number 7. All right. Now this next one, I remember the first time I saw this, I'm like, I didn't know what to make of it, especially when I heard it. It was just vastly different from what I was used to. The very first Styx album that I heard all the way through was Pieces of Eight. And I'll get to that story later. But then I picked up this album. I think it was the second after Pieces of Eight. Second one I bought, but it was on 8-track. Released July 1973. Their second album, Styx 2. You can see the band in the word there, Styx. And like I said, I didn't. When I heard it, I'm like, God, this is weird. I mean, it's vastly different from what made them a household name. Uh, More progressive, you know, you could say. Starts out with "You Need Love" by JY. Then "Lady, Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling." Of course, like I said, a lot of people didn't know what album that was on. You know, I know people would ask me, "You know what album Lady is on?" I go, "What's Sticks 2? What Sticks 2? What's that?" This right here. A lot of people did not realize that, and even today don't realize that. Uh, then it goes into "A Day" by John Karutsky. Love that one. Oh, just that one has grown on me over the years. I just when I first heard it, I didn't care for it. Of course, I was a lot younger then, but now that is just JC's singing on that is just awesome. Just a marvelous ballad, and it's not a poppy ballad. It's progressive. I mean, awesome. Then it goes to another JC song, "You Better Ask." Know what you want to do. Don't just have to come to you. Next time you better ask. uh, then it goes to a little Fidget and G, John Sebastian Bach, and that leads right into Father OSA. Dennis penned and sung. Just awesome song. Love that one. 7 minutes and some change. And that goes into Earl of Roseland, which is basically a little story about Dennis and the band uh, childhood. I mean, if you listen to the words, you know, you got Dennis saying things, you know, Roseland is where they, you know, him and the Pinazzo brothers grew up. And it even mentions a couple boys how does it say, Six String Tricks, which is JC and JY, but they didn't grow up in Roseland, so. And then it goes into James, "I'm gonna make you feel it. I'm gonna make you feel it." You know, another rocker by James. Just awesome music here. So definitely check it out. That's my number 7. Stick 2 on the number 6. On the number Styx or 6. Released October 1976. Their first album with Tommy Shaw. And that is Crystal Ball. Crystal Ball. Awesome album. Or, like I said, JC had moved on. Tommy had ended the picture here. And according to him, he played him an acoustic version of Crystal Ball, and that's what got him to be into the band. I said, that sounds just like a Styx song. And it is. Starts out with Put Me On. Put Me On, I'm your brand new record album. Great opener. Love that song. Love it. Put me on. I'm the crazy man singing in your living room. Then it goes into Mademoiselle, penned by Dennis and Tommy, sung by Tommy. Then Jennifer, Dennis again. Crystal Ball, the title song. Shoes, Tommy and James penned that one. Tommy singing. Great rocker there. This Old Man. You know, this is back when Dennis wrote excellent music, excellent rock and roll with progressive sound. This Old Man is, I just love. Just haunting, just excellent. Then it goes into Claire de Lune, Ballerina. Good song. I don't enjoy that as much as I do the rest of the album. So that's the only, as far as I'm concerned, that and Jennifer is the only two weak points on this album. But the rest is just awesome. So, the back of the album. And I know I'm not going to take it out because I know there's no pictures in it. So, but check it out. Another winner. Okay. That's number 6. On to the top 5 at 5. All right. This next album, a lot of people probably are going to wonder what I was thinking by putting this ahead of albums such like Crystal Ball and Cornerstone, even Kilroy. But this is how I feel about them. This is what I reach for more, what I enjoy more. And like I said, down the road, this whole thing could change vastly. What, Styx One could go all the way to number 1. I doubt that, but you never know. So anyway, released June 29th, 1999. Their first album since Edge of the Century. Their first album with Dennis in the band since Kilroy. And that's Brave New World. A lot of people don't enjoy this album. A lot of people think it's a bunch of garbage. I love it. I mean, it's a strong album. I played the heck out of this album. I still do. Starts out, I Will Be Your Witness. Written by Tommy Shaw and Jack Blades, sung by Tommy. Of course, Jack Blades was his partner in Damn Yankees. Then goes into Brave New World. Excellent. Written by Tommy and JY. I will, while there's still time. This is the weak points of this album. Though some of these songs I like. Dennis is in his big band mode, and they just don't fit in with this album. They're good songs, but they just don't fit. While there's still time, good, but just fit. It's more harkened to Cornerstone and stuff like that. But anyway, the next song, number 1, Tommy again, great. Best New Face, great, Tommy again. The song I really love on this album, What Have They Done to You? Tommy and JY singing on this one. I just love that song. Rocking, powerful. Then we get to number 7 here. Dennis again. Fallen Angel. I enjoy this one. It's good. Out of all of Dennis's songs, this one fits on here, I would say. Though it's still not 100% Styx, as far as I'm concerned. It's like Dennis came back, but he's still not fully into the band, if you know what I mean. So anyway, next song, Everything's Cool. Awesome. Everything's Cool in the Brave New World. Great song. Uh, Great Expectations by Dennis. I kind of like this one, but it's not. Again, it doesn't fit in this album. Heavy Water, fantastic. And Dennis again. High Crimes and Misdemeanors, Hypocrisy. You know, I get what he's trying to convey there. I get it 100%, but still, it doesn't fit. Uh, Just Fell In's great. Goodbye, Roseland. I like that one. It's basically his goodbye to John Panazzo and what was, what they had. You know, that one kind of fits on here, but not 100%. And then Brave New World, Rip Us. All in all, strong album, but Dennis kind of holds it back. And the sad thing about it is, I don't think they, at least I've never heard him play any of these live. So that's my number 5. But definitely check it out. Definitely check it out because James and Tommy's stuff, 100%. Dennis, probably 60% or less. So anyway, on to number 4. Okay, this next one, I remember when it came out, it was on the radio, the announcement of the tour. I think there was even some advertisement on TV about the coming tour. And the very first song I heard was the title song of this album, released January 16th, 1981. Talking about Paradise Theater. I didn't go see him on this tour. I wish I had. Of course, it'd be years until well, no, I tell you that. I saw them in '79. I saw them on the Kilroy tour, and then I wouldn't see them again until 2021. Love this album. This could actually be higher, but I think what's still to come is a little bit stronger. Of course, it's a concept album about basically about the Paradise Theater, and I've done some studying on that. It's a real place, a lot of history of that place, and of course, it got destroyed eventually. It got ran down, and they tore it down. Starts out with AD 1928 by Dennis. Good opener. Goes right into Rockin' the Paradise. Love it. Love that song. Full of energy. Dennis at his best. Too much time on my hands. That song I like, but I don't listen to it as much as I used to. Probably because I heard it too much on the radio. uh, Nothing ever goes as planned. Love it. The Best of Times, love that one. Lonely People, love it. This is like I said, this is Dennis at his best again. She Cares, good one. No, I'm not 100% a fan of that one. Snowblind, you know, James can get up there and said, I promise the devil had nothing to do with this next song because of backwards messages and stuff like that. And then it goes into half penny, two penny, half penny, two penny, back in the States. Love that one. And then AD 1958 and State Street Sadie. Awesome album. Love the cover. There's the back. Shows a rundown Paradise Theater. Like, is that a real place that apparently Dennis probably went to when he was a kid? And second to last album with the original lineup. Well, the classic lineup, not the original lineup. The classic lineup of Styx. So, anyway, of course, the beginning of the end here for the classic lineup. Last straw would be for the band would be Kilroy, which is too bad. You know, why just get people with different ideas? You know, work together, guys. Jeez, priest. So anyway, on to number 3. Okay. This album, oddly, came out on 7/7/1977. I didn't realize it until I was reading this. It was intentionally, A&M intentionally chose the combination of 7th, 7th on 7/7/77 for luck. So, but anyway, the album, of course, I'm talking about is Grand Illusion. Pete Pardo on Sea of Tranquility's favorite album. He loves it. He loves this album. It's a great album. It is a great album. Of course, you probably say, "Well, why it should be higher?" Well, what's to come, as I think, is just a tad stronger. So, songs on this one. This is the second album with Tommy Shaw. Started out with the title song, Grand Illusion, which is fantastic. Welcome to the Grand Illusion. Come on in and see what's happening. Pay your price, get the tickets for the show. And goes into Fooling Yourself. Not, you know, it's a good song. I don't really enjoy that one as much as what the rest of the album. I don't know why. I've never really liked Fooling Yourself for some reason. Then it goes with Superstars, which is fantastic. Come Sail Away, uh, which has kind of worn its welcome out with me over the years. I still love it, but not as much as I used to. Miss America, love that one. My sister loved that song too. She used to play the heck out of that song. Man in the Wilderness, fantastic. Love that one. Tommy Shaw. Castle Walls, Dennis. Oh, love it. Love it. Just haunting melody. You know, this is Dennis at his finest. It starts and then it ends with the grand final. This awesome, awesome album. There's the guys on the back hiding in the woods. And the picture on the front, I might be wrong, but I think that's Queen Elizabeth II, on a horse. So, but I might be wrong. I don't know. So anyway, check it out. Grand Illusion. That's my number 3. On to number 2. Okay. My number 2 has really grown on me. The more I listen to this, the more I love it. Even, released June 18th, 2021. Crash the Crown. The more I hear this, it just oozes magnum opus to me. When I saw them, sadly, when I saw them in 2021, they didn't play very many songs off this album, which I was disappointed. But they started out with the fight of our lives, and then that went right into Blue Collar Man. But like I said, the more I hear it, it's excellent. It starts out with fight of our lives, then goes to a monster, awesome, reveries. Lawrence singing that one. Hold back the darkness. Lawrence and Tommy. Save us from ourselves. Crash the Crown, the title song, awesome. Our Wonderful Lives, Common Ground. Sound the Alarm, fun one there. Long Live the King. Lost at Sea, 38-second ditty that goes into Coming Out the Other Side. To Those, Another Farewell, and then Stream. Just flows. This album flows. I mean, it's just awesome. Love that. Love the cover. Love that cover. I don't think there's. Well, in fact, I know there's no pictures in here. But this is the album with that. At the time of the recording of this, Will Evankovich was not a full member. He was offered full membership after this album came out, which I think he deserves. I mean, he's done a marvelous album. It's well produced, well put together. The whole album just flows. Just flows. One song flows into the other. Just excellent. If you've never heard this album, you need to. You need to hear this album. Make your own determination, but give it a chance. I mean, I know there's a lot of people there that say, no Dennis, no Styx. No Dennis, no Styx. Open your minds up, people. Things don't always stay the same. You know, Dennis made his bed, and he didn't want to continue until he expected the rest of the band to stop. Well, they didn't want to. They don't have to. You know, now he wants to do a reunion tour. And I'm sure that if one of his stipulations for that would Lawrence would have to be on the sidelines for a while. That would be totally unfair. I mean, if I tell him, you know, either if you want to do a reunion tour, you come on with Lawrence with us, or we don't do it all. So, anyway, that's my number 2, and of course, you know what my number 1 is. Let's see if I can get to where I'm supposed to be. Released September 1978, the very first Styx album I heard. I heard the songs like Grand Illusion and Lorelei. But this is the very first album. This is the one that did it for me. Pieces of Eight. Just I remember where I was when I first heard this album. I was on I-15 heading to a drive-in theater in Davis County, I believe, to see a couple of martial art films. I think one was called Circle of Iron. Can't remember what the other one was. But Quinn said, my friend Quinn said, you got to hear this. You got to check this album out. And he put it on, it was 8-track. Put it in the 8-track player. And of course, you hear the, the punching bag, and then, and then Dennis, ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. From the city of the big shoulders, wearing white, the number one contender, with 10-round expedition for your entertainment. So when the bell sounds, prepare yourself for the main event. And I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. Then, it captured me right off the bat. Then it goes into I'm Okay. It was another excellent song. Sing for the Day. Back then, I didn't care for it much, but I love it now. It's great. Then goes into The Message and a little Dennis D. Young instrumental. Then flows right into Lords of the Ring. Dennis penned, J.Y. sung, and then the awesome Blue Collar Man. There was a point in time in my life where I did not like Blue Collar Man later on. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Probably because I'd heard it so many times. But now it's kind of grown back on me. I love that song. And when they opened the concert with that song, it just got everybody going. Got everybody rocking. Queen of Spades. If I was to rank this album, I'd have a heck of a time between Blue Collar Man, Queen of Spades, and the next song, Renegade. This Queen of Spades I love. It's taunting, moody, powerful. Again, Dennis at his finest. And of course, Renegade. Renegade, I heard where originally it was supposed to be an acoustic number. Of course, Tommy wrote it and sung. But it was Dennis who told him, no, you got to do this heavy. You got to do this hard. Start out mellow, but then boom, hit him directly between the eyes with it. And that's what it does. It says, oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Lawman's down. I mean, it captures you right off with this moody, mellow voice of Tommy's. And then Dennis goes, yeah! Just blows your face off. Love it. And then Pieces of Eight. Excellent. Again, Dennis at his finest. The only weak point is the last song, Aku Aku, which is kind of moody, kind of a good send-off, but I don't know. Probably the only weak point on this whole album. I just love it. Of course, the cover, I just never quite got. You know, of course, if you look in the background, you see one of the rock carvings from Easter Island. So, of course, you got the right there from Easter Island little earring. But if you've never heard this album, you got to check it out. I mean, this is strong, awesome, awesome. Styx at their finest. So, but anyway, that's that's my choices, and that's what I'm sticking with. If you don't like it, tough. That's the way I feel about it right now. So, but yeah, hope you enjoyed that. I just like I said at the start, I can't believe I hadn't done a ranking of Styx, one of my favorite all time bands. So please subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell, and leave your own choice down below, your own ranking. Love to see it. Please subscribe. I know I'm not the most charismatic person in the world, but I'm doing my best. I love music. I love talking about it. Uh, though I love talking with people about it. Doing a video like this, talking to a camera, is one of the hardest things in the world. A lot of people who do this, I've heard they can't watch themselves. They will not rewatch the video. I have had time watching myself. I'll go back and double check, make sure the sound's okay sometimes, or well, all the time. But there are times that this microphone doesn't work. So, but I'm not going to go back and re-record the whole thing. So anyway, let's do a recap. Anyway, number 1, Pieces of 8. 2, Crash of the Crown. 3, Grand Illusion. 4, Paradise Theater. 5, Brave New World. 6, Crystal Ball. 7, Styx 2. 8, Equinox. 10, or yeah, no, 9. I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself. Cornerstone. 10, Kilroy Was Here. 11, The Mission. 12, Serpent is Rising. Get that out here. Well, Serpent is Rising, and then Men of Miracles. Number 13. Number 14, Edge of the Century. 15, Cyclorama. And 16, which I do not have, Styx 1. First Styx. Debut. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Last weekend, I said I was going to do what are you listening to this, for the past week. Didn't get around to it for some reason. It sucks getting old. Excuses. But anyway, hopefully this weekend I'll have what are you listening to, what I've been listening to the past 2 weeks. So I'll have a bunch of stuff to go over. So anyway, have a good week. Hopefully this weekend's good here in Utah. Hope it's good. hopefully it's good wherever you are at. Uh, did a check the long range forecast, and next week, probably toward the end of the week, bad weather, possible snow. I hope not. I'm not ready for snow. After last winter, snow can hold off till January. So, but we'll see. So, anyway, have a good week, and we'll see you when we see you.